Okay, so this is the block. It is block 3E.
Should already be up on the website. I do believe you verified downloadability.
I did. I went out there and downloaded it myself.
I just make these words up as I go.
So we need 12 patches of the ebony, and this is called Island. I think that's a perfect name for this. We're actually using this in our Go Club too. So I'm going to start with the die number 6, and this is the on point, because this has the on point block. This one is actually 3 and 11/16. The rotary cutting calls for 3 and 5/8, and we can fudge that in there. So first thing I normally do when I'm using AcryQuilt is measure my die, and this is just under 4 inches. I can get that in there at 4, and then I know I'm going to have to cut that one. That'll work at 4 inches too. And then this one is in the green, so I'm just going to cut these. So I'm going to cut my strip 4 inches.
Scissors.
Rotary cutter.
Oh, okay.
And I only need one of this. I'm going to start with that one. And I'm making sure my salvage is above this line that I drew up here. So just like that. Grab my mat. Spin so that the handle is facing me. I did that. I set that up that way. I don't know why. I do like this block, and I'm not really sure what it is about it that I really like. It's just different. And there's
like
our
beetle with the
beetle.
legs.
I can see that.
Can you see that?
And so we need 12 patches, die number 5. So we need 6 layers. I'm not going to get that out of that. I'm going to save that and do it out of this one. Is that 6? Yeah, let me just fold it in half and do it that way. There's.
You know, it's really hard to believe that it's already spring break.
It is spring break already?
Already.
Yeah, kids hardly go to school. And they're prepared already.
A lot of places aren't doing spring break this year. A lot of colleges aren't doing it.
Aren't they?
Oh.
No spring break.
Well, I can understand that.
Shirley's question, what is this for pattern? So Shirley, this is block of the week. Oh, sorry. Die pattern.
Die pattern.
Which die is it?
This is the 9-inch cube. So it's not a specific die. You need the cube to make this. And actually some of them are from the 6-inch cube, and then some of them are from the 9-inch. So I'm just going to cut my next strip because I need 6. I need 8 of die number 5 from the 9-inch cube. It's easier if I fold it in half. And 4. And since there's 2 shapes on here, I only need half the number of folds. So there's that. 8 of those. And then I need 4 patches of this one.
Appreciate it.
And I have just enough room. I'm going to move that salvage up a little bit So I don't include my salvage in my fold because I don't want this to be part of my quilt. Right there is my die completely covered. See there? It is. And again, you want to do this so that your salvage goes through this way. Otherwise, your shapes don't end up quite the right size.
We had a viewer question from Kathy. What is the size of these blocks in this Amish quilt? I own the 9-inch cube and the companion sets.
They are 9.5 unfinished, 9-inch finished blocks.
Okay.
So, and if you look at the pattern, if you go out and download the pattern, the die that you need from the cube is listed there.
Okay.
If there is no compatible die, because not all of them, so like we were saying earlier, I didn't have AccuQuilt when I started this project. So
When you made it the first time.
right, when I made it the first time, thank you, Robert. So some of them don't have rotary cutting instruction or don't have AccuQuilt compatible dies. Okay.
Could you do the blocks with the 12-inch since it's a multiple of 3?
No, because not all of the blocks use the same cube. So like some of the blocks that we've done use a 6-inch cube because it's a multiple of 4. And so if you were to do, so you can make this block using the 12-inch cube. You have all the right dies, but it won't work in the pattern because there's no, I don't know if you could use the 9-inch and the 12-inch. So, and it would be a very large quilt. There's 42 blocks in this quilt. So
Yeah, so Kathy was saying, so it's not really an AccuQuilt pattern.
no, it's not an AccuQuilt pattern. This is one that I designed.
And she just added the instructions for AccuQuilt in there in case you had it to make it go a little quicker. So as opposed to...
Yeah. There was one that we did not have AccuQuilt dies that would work for it, so we had to rotary cut it. There's a couple of those.
one block in the quilt that couldn't be done with AccuQuilt.
Correct. Oh, wait, I am stuck here. I'm just going to thread it.
Oh, that's great, Brenda. Yeah. So she's been using a lot of... Hi, Sherry. A lot of the Paintbrush Studio fabrics on a journaling quilt from Anita Good, and she said they're working great. So.
I used to use a different brand of solids, Kona. I like these better. They're a denser weave. They don't collect as much lint as Kona fabrics do, and they feel just really luxurious.
Yeah, we had a lot of viewer feedback on the difference on the solids. So
Yeah,
carry the whole collection of Paintbrush Studios right now.
we do. And they're in the catalog that gets emailed out. You can click on the color that you want and order right online.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the new catalog, you should go out to the website and take a look at the digital catalog and give us some feedback. And we are posting your stuff in there as well, viewers, quilts, and pictures and things like that. So if you want something in the catalog, and send it to us. We'd be happy to publish it.
So the first thing that I'm doing on this is sewing the inner border, or the inner, oh, what is this? Not square and a square. I think it is a square, sort of. Square and a square.
Yeah, it sounds pretty square. Sounds like we're all square.
I think it is a square and a square. So press those out.
And what is that you're using?
This is the doohickey, the multi-function finger presser tool.
Well, she got it right.
Yeah, but she did it very slowly.
Yeah, you gotta.
precisely.
You can't say it really fast. It just doesn't work.
So one of our viewers named it the doohickey, and I think it works.
Yep, she's up in Illinois. Haven't seen her on yet. Good to get on today.
Okay. Last one for this, and then we're going to start piecing the flying geese. Okay. So that's the center of our block.
Did you need the iron turned on or is it
I
on?
think
it is on.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I am
Good
just
call.
gonna trim these off. I'm doing it now so that I don't have to do it later. Okay, so that's that portion. So then we need to make our flying geese. And so we're just going to sew these corners on. So 4 of these go on here. I'm going to take the whole stack. And when you're doing these, so the part that you want to line up is down here. So you want to line up down here. It should line up perfectly. Sometimes it doesn't, but, and then put them in and sew them.
Is it better to sew one triangle after another?
I like doing it that way. It doesn't make a lot of difference on this because it's a straight stitch machine. So it's just got a real tiny hole where the needle goes
Hi,
through.
Michelle.
But if you have a zigzag machine, it has a wider plate. Always change out your plate for the straight stitch plate so that your corners don't get stuck down into the stitch plate. And so doing them like this is really convenient for one, because you don't have to stop and cut and straighten and everything. You can just piece and piece. The thing that's nice about doing them this way is because that tail is connected to the previous block, it reduces that tendency for that fabric to get pushed down into your needle plate.
For the new viewers, we're sewing the block of the week. We do this every Tuesday night.
Yep, these are super easy, super quick blocks. So then the next step, I'm going to sew all of these together. And again, I'm just going to chain piece them. One right after the other. And last one. Well, since this was one of my first quilts, these blocks are really simple and really quick to make. So I think just about everybody is caught up. These I'm going to press towards the dark side. Star Wars reference.
So you're making the flying geese there.
Nope, these are the flying geese.
Let me try to get a better picture here.
And then we're going to lay out the block. Why am I doing it this way? I was looking at this block and I think I might have pieced it together the other way the first time. But, you know, sometimes I look at a block and I put it together a little bit different from what the directions tell me, because that's just how my mind works. So make sure all of our points are pointing out. I do like this. This is amazing color next to the black.
Yeah, it does really go well together.
Looks like sherbet.
It does.
I haven't had any sherbet for a while.
Are you hungry, Robert?
I think so.
Okay. So I think when I originally put this together, I did the square and a square, and then I sewed these pieces onto the sides and then pieced all of this in one big triangle. But I think it's easier when you just piece them in rows like you were putting together a 9-patch. So that's how I decided to piece this one for you, because I think it's just easier. We're used to making 9 patches, and they're pretty simple. So again, when you're sewing and you're sewing points, you want to have this side up facing you so that when you sew to this, you want to try to hit this intersection when you're sewing. Even if it's not 1/4 of an inch, always try to hit this intersection, because that's going to give you the nice sharp points that we like.
It does kind of look, Sherry said it looks kind of like a frog.
A frog?
Frog colors.
Yeah, kind of. But this is a block
Ribbit.
that you could do if you have a lot of scraps. Put a sashing in between it to tie it all together, and you have a really pretty sampler quilt. So there we go. Where's our minner? Minner?
Okay.
Cracking
what
up
were you
here.
doing before the show?
I was drinking coffee.
You were drinking coffee. Was there anything in it?
Besides coffee? Nope.
Kahlua.
I think that should be required in your coffee. Just saying.
Makes a funner show.
I think I'd prefer Bailey's though than Kahlua. Okay, so since I pressed these seams this way, I'm going to press these this way.
That's your obstinate nature.
It is. Just putting pressure.
Fits right into sewing.
It is. Okay. I'm going to sew with this side up so that I can aim for this intersection right here. Okay. That's looking good. Last piece. That's my point. Make sure my seams are nested right here.
Peggy said she'd rather watch you than Netflix. That's a big compliment.
That is a really
Wow.
good compliment.
Yeah, very nice.
And if you didn't catch that, I do backstitch my seams. When I do these longer seams like this and I'm piecing the block together, I do backstitch at start and stop. So let's put this under the iron and see how it goes. And there it is. Very cute block.
Nice.
Super easy to make. It was a great scrap buster too.
And it looks complicated.
It does look complicated,
Yeah.
but you saw how easy that was to put together.
You'll impress all your friends with that one.
Yeah. Yep, all my seams are good. Perfect.